everybody. Hello, 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 hello. I see you all in there. All 5 of you. Thank you. That's great, though, actually. Thank you very much. I am still learning StreamYard. So, let me figure it out as we go. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me? Can I get a yes, please? Or a 1 or 2, whatever. Just let me know you can hear me. MPN, all right. Thank you. Anybody want to join me tonight? Oh, wait. We have Billy in the house. Be careful. See, I'm starting to learn this. So. Anybody want to jump in and I can send you the link? You can jump in. We can try that. Could be my first guest, not guest. Yeah, do you like that, Billy? I mean, you're going to hear maybe. You guys that quick? Why do you think they call it the boob tube? There you go. 5-0. All right, let's go to the bench because, again, like I said, I don't want to step on Johnny's toes and do anything that interfere with those shows because I love doing those shows and I don't want to, even though I'm, You've been watching for Laz, but nothing from him. Oh, for his 12 days of Rockmas? Or, yeah. What upgrades would I recommend, Mr. Mick? Okay. You bought a Jackson JS32. Okay, that's a good one. Pavo Purple. Today to upgrade, what upgrades would you recommend? Does it have Duncan Designs in it or Jackson pickups? I know there's a 7 to 12 minute delay from what I say to what you hear. Yeah, he should be. Either way, I would upgrade the pickups. Got Jackson. Yeah, I would upgrade them if you can find the original Jackson pickups from the 80s. Those are killer. Anything after, I'd say 92 or 93 are kind of generic. So I would, whether you like DiMarzio or Seymour Duncan, I would go with a set of those. Obviously, go with a 1000. If you're going to buy, I mean, I know you can get a special for $100, but if you look on Reverb, there's a bunch of 1000s on there right now, anywhere from 165 on down. And that's like in between, obviously, the German and that and the special. But, for the $50, $60 more, that's a better way to go. And locking nut, I would upgrade the locking nut on it, get an actual Floyd locking nut for it. And then switch is probably okay. Might upgrade the pots on it. Definitely put a pure tone input jack in it. I put those on everything except Cece's guitar because it takes the barrel jack. Well, actually, to take that back, there is a pure tone when it last sent that. It's a pure tone barrel jack. The J90C, okay. I forget what the ones from the 80s, I think that's what they were, because even in all my Charvels I got, they had the Jackson pickups, like 86, 87, 88. Well, I bought Charvels from 86 through 90. And 87, I bought the ESP M1 Custom, which it had a yellow Seymour Duncan in it to match the guitar. But yeah, go with the Floyd locking nut. Pots, CTS pots if you want to, put some of the best ones in there. But just basically gut it and then put the good. And the only thing you really don't have to worry about because it's got a locking nut are the tuners. If you want to go with locking tuners, it doesn't do anything for performance-wise, but it helps you on a string change, obviously. So, because at first, when those first started getting popular, I was like, why put them on a locking nut guitar? Then it occurred to me, obviously, the string change. But see, for me, it doesn't affect me. That's why none of mine have them. It has a locking nut. Because I feed with the ball end through the top and then come down and cut into the mount the string in the Floyd there. And I did that out of necessity. I've said this before on Johnny's show many times. I don't know if you were around then or not, but I did it in the early 80s out of necessity, 85, 84, 85, because we were just starting and you're putting all your money into your guitars and your amp or whatever pedals or rig you had, and you didn't always have money for strings. So what I would do is I just start putting them in that way. That way I could go clear down to the end. If the string broke, I cut, half inch off, put it back in until I couldn't use it no more. And then I would actually take them off and boil them, all except for the high E, B, and G, and do the wound strings. Boil them in hot water for about 2 or 3 minutes. Let the water boil, then throw them in there. That cleans them out and everything, so they could last a lot longer. And then getting into my paying it forward, we had a guy step in and supply the band with a lot of stuff, and never wanted repaid. Just always made the comment, just when you can, pay it forward. And I told him I would, and that's how this whole donate parts and everything kept going, or I got it going that way and keep it going because of my word I gave to him 39 years ago. 38. It's been at least 38 years. So, all right, let me switch to the other camera and we'll go over to the bench. Oh, that's why it's not working. Wrong mouse. Hold on here. I have Cece's guitar on there now. I got it together. We'll go through it. Now, I don't have it wired up yet. I'm going to do that probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I got some things to take care of first. But I do have the guitar. I got the neck bolted on, re-drilled it, changed the actual bolt pattern, made it a little wider apart and a little bit longer. So yeah, we'll go there and we'll do that. Be right with you. Okay, can everybody still hear me? Actually, I don't need the headphones. Okay. Yeah, this is not a copy of a Van Halen. It is an inspired by. And then, I did some different things to it. And I still have to adjust the Vega trims on it, and that's off the red Strat, which this is CC's anyhow. He just let me put it on the Strat till I had this ready. So this is in here, ready to go. Everything you see on here that looks like a mistake or a bad spot was literally done on purpose. Even as far as these are decals that go on top of the body. Greasy, hello. And I have the automotive clear on here. Excuse me. And you can't feel these. It's like they were built, I mean, literally. I don't know. Listen, there's no, they're under the clear. You don't feel them. But I also like weathered these. So you can see some of the black, if you look real closely on top of the letters, is kind of wore off. So literally everything you see on this guitar, these lines, little scratches, all put in here on purpose. All this was. I didn't have the MXR knob, but I did have this red beak, and I thought since red here, and there is the one star, red star here, I thought why not go with red, put a white switch in it, or switch cap. Now again, this is a Berretta special, so technically these two things, it should only look like that. It shouldn't have the three-way switch or the kill switch. And I could have used a cutter and cut this out and been a lot quicker. But what I did was drilled a series of holes, then took, where'd it go? Well, I used this and then a real good X-Acto knife and cut that out, and then took one of my thin files and filed it all square and drilled the holes so you could do it. And you're probably wondering why you have a three-way switch with one pickup. This is where the wiring comes in. Like I said, I have two. Wait, let me find CC's box of stuff here. And there, on this channel is a video of me showing you how to do that, because I was going to use the tools, and the whole idea was to make this so a kid could do it. And I thought, well, a kid might not have the stuff, so I showed how to do it basically by hand with basic tools. There was no hole here, so in true Eddie style, I drilled through the body, used a Forster bit, got through, then I had to get down to the body, and I had to make it thin enough for this to fit in without going through the body. And then I did not route the very edge of the other side and put a cap on it, a plastic cover, because I'm figuring Eddie probably wouldn't either, right? So here's what the back looks like. And it's actually cleared but sanded down, so it kind of looks like a satin clear. But you can see I just left it like that. I mean, it's kind of like, I could have come out here and routed out this about 1/8 of an inch around and about 1/8 of an inch out, and just cut a circle out of black plastic, whatever, and put down in there. But I figured, no, he wouldn't have done it, so I'm not going to do it. Here's the stuff to. Although that was my phone ringing. So here's one capacitor, and it is a vitamin T, and here's a big old orange drop. So we're going to have two capacitors. So the back, how I'm hoping to do this, is the back would be just a pickup. Second position will be the pickup with one of these, and then the neck, or the top position, would be the pickup with the other one. So technically, you should have 3 different sounds. This is a USA switch I put in it. So you got a USA switch, 3-way. So you got just a plain pickup, which is the Kramer Eruption pickup. I bolted it direct instead of using the ring. So we got the pickup with one of the capacitors, and then that pickup would be with either the single other capacitor or both capacitors together, but I don't think that's going to work. So we're going to go with just the one. Then the kill switch. Again, the Vega trim. That's the Kramer Eruption. I did the frets on here. I was going to redo the headstock because I had this all done and it was nice clean lines, and Laz is like, well, just try the lacquer on it. So I did, and it just like these lines started just running, and the red star that was right here kind of melted into the paint and it looked like crap. So last night what I did is I sanded all this, basically sanded it down, and I thought, you know what, that's how Eddie would have left it. So then I just buffed out what was sanded down. I did print the printed one in white for that, even though it doesn't have a Floyd on it. If he ever does put one on, he's got the tools, but it looks authentic. So, and again, I only painted the top half, and I even went as far as, if you look at the guitar that Johnny and those guys went to, the Kramer Ad guitar, you know, it had the for the strap was bent, although it was like a locking Schaller type bent strap pin. Well, I took it a step farther. His CC told me go ahead and put these in, so I had them. But look, I got it in there and I got it bent, and I made sure it cracked some of the paint, chipped the paint away. So this is, you know, initially I wanted it to be all nice and just perfect, and everybody's like, no, Eddie, that's not your. No, you want it to be like Eddie's, you got to have it. So that's why when you look at it, you still see some of the sanding lines. You'll see where I had the different coats of clear. Some places you'll notice it looks like it's a little. It's just all done to be like that. And then there's the pot in the back. Good. Good. I've never used a vitamin T one before. This is the first. Matter of fact, when CC sent these to me, and because he kept saying, "Oh no, you're going to have to use. I want to use a vitamin T in it," and I'm like, I didn't want to sound like an idiot. I'm like, oh, okay. Then after I got off the phone with him, I looked it up, and I said vitamin T, and I had never heard of them before in all these years. So we're going to have the switch wired. Again, bare pickup with one of them, and pick up with the other one. So you're going to have 3 different sounds. Are they going to be that noticeable? I hope so. I really hope they are. But, I mean, I know personally they're going to sound different, just whether or not you can pick it up pretty good. So, but yeah, like these lines, all that, I did all that on purpose. Like up here and here, and like I said, I bent that over and cracked the paint on purpose. Just, you know, because that's, I mean, I wanted it to look like a brand new, nice, shiny everything, and everybody's like, no, that's not Eddie. You're building an Eddie inspired guitar, so you got to do it this way. So that's what we got. Hi, Brian. So, Ian. So, yeah, I'm hoping, new strings last night. But I got to adjust the neck a little bit yet. Which I figured I would do now. I think I need to charge this. Find out here in a second. Let me get a neck rest. Because initially, when this whole thing came to me, CC had an idea how he wanted. I want it like this, and I'm like, well, I don't like doing that type of paint job because they're gonna look at it and say, "Oh, that was repainted. It looks like crap." And then after I got to talking and doing the relic paint jobs for people, and then the hundreds of Van Halen people, bigger fans than I am, telling me, "Hey, no, you can't, you got to do this." It would be, what do they say? It would be, oh my God, I can think that I can't. It's right there. Abomination. If you made this look like a perfect guitar, they would have nothing to do with Eddie, and he, blah blah blah. So I was like, well, okay. Guess we won't do that. I don't want to hit anybody and make them mad at me. So I said, well, we'll do it in Eddie style, which this is more of what CC wanted to begin with. And I kept telling him I don't do paint jobs like that. So I'm going to ship this off to him Friday. Main reason is I get it wired up either tomorrow or Wednesday, Thursday night, or Wednesday, or I'm sorry, yeah, Thursday night on Laz's show. He wanted me to show it and let you guys hear it. So, again, it's not wired up right now, as you can tell. But, yeah. So everything that looks like it's messed up on here was technically done on purpose. I want to raise this action just a hair on a couple of these. And what I'm probably going to have to do, because these factory Vega trim threads don't like to go down into the saddles very much. So I don't know, that one needs up. Here's another tip. When you're doing saddles like this, everybody, I don't care what guitar store you go to, when you look at them, this type of saddle bridge, you'll see the saddles, instead of sitting flush with the string going through them, they'll be up like this one way or the other. That's not correct. They should be up equal on both sides so the string is in the middle. Same way on a Floyd. You want the string in the middle of the saddle, always. And I'm just trying to get these up a little bit. And I admit, now, Floyd Rose is my go-to, my ultimate tremolo. But if I had a guitar that I did not want to route out to put a Floyd on, and it had the Fender style tremolo, I would definitely go with the Vega Trem. Now, like I said, this one has been on that red Strat kit that I got from Bay Area Rich. Now it's sitting over there with nothing. So makes me say I got three. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on. Wait a minute. I got 5 guitars over there now that I have to finish up. I need parts. I need a Vega Trem for one. Need a couple sets of pickups. I need 2 sets of pickups, 1 Vega Trem. I got one over there I can put together with what I have. But I try not to use very much stuff because, like I said, I want it to be for the the ones that I do. To get the guitars in the hands of people that really want them and can't afford them. These on this particular one right now are Ernie Ball 10 through 46 or 40, 42 or 46. So yeah, this is kind of, again, this was his idea, but I wanted to make it, kind of playing with rubber gloves. Oh, hitting the tremolo bar. So, after how long? Laz had this for over a year, all tore apart. Johnny had it for close to a year, but he played it. So this is now well into the 3rd year. And it's finally together. Yeah, I had a black. Well, you guys tell me. Should it be a white? Now, I liked it white because it kind of blended in with the stripe both ways. Like that. So no matter where you put it, it's in the white stripe. Although I have a black one I could put on it. But since this was red and this was red, I went with red here. And I know it's not the MXR style one, but it's different than your normal volume knob. So, again, inspired by, not a copy. So should I leave the white on, or should I go with the black one? I was going to put red, but I don't have a red one. I thought I did. Yeah, he sent me the address and stuff to ship it to. Like I said, I'll be doing that Friday. And then he said he was going to wait till Christmas to open it. Which I don't know why, but Let me see here. Hold on. You're a purist, MPN, I know. So, let me see. Find one. All right. All right, you saw the white one, which is right here. And, you know, it kind of blends in with the stripe all three ways. Oh, here's the black one. Which one in chat? Tell me which one. White, white, white. Billy Ray, black. MPN. I know MPN's going to say black because he's a purist. I just thought the white one was different. You know what I mean? You know what I'll do when I send it to CC? I'll send both of them. He can pick. But I'll leave the white one on it for now. I was hoping I had a red one. I used to. I don't know where it went. It must have went on one of the guitars I gave away. So, nice, strong USA-made switch. So, yeah, you'll be able to hear that pickup and everything Thursday night. But again, this was just Eddie inspired, not copied. And it's just it is what it is. I mean, I went authentic here on that. And literally bent that over and let the piece of it here go into the paint and chip the paint away. That's what I wanted. Luckily, I only had to hit it one time. This with the hammer to do it. Sorry, but did you say what the switch? Okay, Mr. Mick, we got these two different capacitors: a vitamin T and a big orange drop. So the way it's going to be wired is down like this is just the Kramer eruption pickup. In the middle will be the pickup with one capacitor. Up will be the pickup with the other capacitor. So theoretically you get three different sounds, which I know it's going to sound three different ways. Whether or not it's really distinguishable or not, I don't know. That we're going to find out. Then of course the kill switch. So we're going to be, again, straight pickup with, say, the vitamin T, and up we pick up with the orange drop. But I don't have any of these other than this one that he sent me. So if I like how this sounds, I will be getting some. Well, thank you, James. So yeah, again on this channel, I showed how I did this hole and put this. Again, you know, this guitar should only have been like that. It should never have. It never did have one. Yeah, instead of having three different pickups, you're going to have now three different sounds. And even though I've never done it with a 5-way switch, I assume you could do it with a 5-way switch with 4 different capacitors. But that might be getting a little bit, you know, you probably have to put it on a scope to notice all the difference. But those two alone, I'm hoping they make a big enough difference. And I know I sparked Johnny's interest when I talked about doing that. So I know he's going to want to hear what it sounds like too. So I'll get that all done either tomorrow or Wednesday, and you guys can hear it Thursday. Frets were all done. Okay. That's something I never did, Peggy. I never did watch those, and on that particular vitamin T. So I will do that sometime tonight when I'm off here. So, any more questions about this guitar? I mean, it was definitely Van Halen expired. Van Halen inspired, and it's kind of got, the original black and white, the 5150, the newer, the kill switch. So it's kind of, and this, like same with the bend and the chip and the paint stuff, with the ad guitar. So I kind of wanted to put a little bit of all of them into just this one. The only thing I did not do to it, and now I'm kind of wishing I would have, like right here or right here, put one circle on it, so I could say I involved the circles guitar too, or the shapes guitar, but. Cool. So that's where we stand with this, and again, you guys will hear it Thursday. And again, you don't feel these. They are absolutely underneath the clear. And I'm sure I could just, resand this down again and really, really buff it out with the big buffer and get the super high gloss, but I kind of, I wanted to do it everybody, all the Van Halen purists said don't do that. So, it'd be like disrespecting his style. And I understand that. I feel the way sometimes, same way when people do stuff to Randy's polka dot style guitar. So this is it, and I hope CC, I don't think he's ever had this. If I remember correctly, he bought it, and the store either shipped it to Johnny, or they shipped it to the Guitar Center by Johnny, and he went and picked it up. Or CC has bought it there, I guess, maybe. And Johnny went and picked it up. So CC's actually never, ever held this guitar in his hands, even though he's owned it for over 3 years. So that's where we stand with this. And then I talked to Dane the other day. He'd sent a message, he wanted to know about his Schecter. And I told him I got the headstock fixed. You can never tell it had the big crack going across the front of it. And I filled in the holes for the old bridge, spaced them right, and then drilled it out for the new smaller post on the Geiger black bridge. So mechanically, Dane's guitar is ready to go. The only thing is, today's high was 26. I cannot paint in this weather. And that he asked when he texted the other day, he's like, I told him everything's ready to go, I just can't do it until it's warmer. And he's like, oh, I'll just wait till April or May. And I said, oh man, if I don't, even waiting, I don't have to wait that long. Same way with Rich's. I can't do the red and the clear on Rich's Strat right now either, unless we have a 3 or 4 days of 50-degree weather. But this time next week, it's only supposed to be, I think, a high of 11 here. So I can't do any painting for a while. She won't let me paint down here. But yeah, it's the, unless I can get Bob to let me use his paint booth. And I was on, when I was telling Dane, I said, worst comes to worst, I'll just rent the paint booth off of him. And Dane's like, no, don't spend any money. He's just wait. And I don't like. I mean, you guys have waited long enough, but I can't control the weather, unfortunately. Yeah, it kind of sucks when you're depend. I mean, I don't. My dad got rid of the body shops years ago, so I actually don't have a body shop anymore. I have a 3-car garage outside that I use, and unfortunately, he has. It's a 3-car garage. He was going to put a 16-foot door and then an 8-foot door. In the 8-foot door, he was going to actually put in a paint booth. And when he retired, he was just going to do that on his own, and he never did it. So we just the 8-foot door is not there, so we have a 16-foot door. So you can put 2 in there. If you want to put the third one in, you got to pull in and cut over. And I even thought about, well, I'll build a paint booth in there, but right now I can't do anything until she's back. Oh, there it is. What happened to that now? That was just a crappy thing her job did. No warning, no nothing. Laid them all off right before the holiday season, including her bosses. They outsourced her whole department. And nobody's really hiring right now. Not other than just seasonal help and medical. She's in the medical field, and unfortunately, they don't have a seasonal help there. So until that gets squared away, that's also why there's 4 or 5 guitars sitting over there, or just sitting there. So Vega trim, 2 springs. I use 2 springs 99% of the time. Although there are some guitars that it's impossible. You have to have 3. So I hope CC is happy with this. Again, this is completely different from what I initially wanted to do to it, because I even told him I wasn't going to do this to it. And then when I started doing those relic guitars, I'm like, well. And then my daughter told me, she said, Dad, I'm telling you right now, because when I started doing stuff for the store, she's like, you can't sit there and take their guitar and do this to it because you think it needs done. It's their guitar. You got to do what they want. No exceptions. No ifs, ands, or buts. Unless you talk to them and tell them, hey, if I do this and they agree with it, that's fine. But you just cannot do what you want to on your own. So between that and doing the relic stuff, and then Cece like, well, let's do this. And it's like, okay, you know what? We'll do it that way. Peggy, I don't have a problem with bacon in the kitchen. I don't have a problem with bacon, period. I experimented on my 3D printer. Now it's got buffing compound on here, because I did go through this lightly last night with buffing compound, but raised, just like a little plaque. Put 2-way tape on it or whatever and stick it here on the wall. But that's not paint, that's black and purple, or black and purple filament. Or I can drill 2 little holes here and mount it to the pegboard. I did all kind of stuff on this. Oh, that's what I'll show you. Let me move this back some. Oh, I'm so OCD. stuff I let go here on this whatever this is, a show or whatever you want to call it, and on Johnny's, I might let it go for the show, but before I go to bed that night, I fix it. I put it right. I clean it up, but whatever. This, I have another brand new one of this D'Addario bench top. Matter of fact, it's right here, still sealed in the plastic bubble wrap. Comes in a nice hard case. I'll show you. I got the other one too, I think. Yeah. This one is on the table. This is what they come in. And I was only going to use it for guitar repair, nothing to do with paint. And what happened is, it's still got the label on it. Made in China. Like some solder hit it and burned into it. And after that, I was like, well, might as well just leave it on there. Then, doing all the sanding and all the prep work and stuff for the painting, you got that on it. And so I don't want to use that one unless I'm only going to do stuff that won't stain it on it. Because now I cleaned out that back behind me, so I do have that other area where I can do the buffing and stuff like that. So I may switch this one over there and put the new one over here. But I like these. I like these a lot. They're like $29. But if you use D'Addario strings, the circle program, after you get so many points, that's how I got these two. Ordered them with points. I bought the strings to use, put the code in, you get so many points, and once I forget how many it was, 2,000, 2,500. What the hell was that? It's like someone slamming the door. After all that, then I just got them, got these. So let me show you. Here's guitar nuts. Well, I made these. These are 9-volt battery caps because I'm tired of getting new 9-volt batteries and putting them in here. Then I go to use them and they're dead because they were stuck on something in there. So I'm printing out some caps today, actually. But here's the nuts, and there's an old store-bought one. There's one I made. I've made different sizes. Here's a taller one. And I even made them in pink for Strats, which I sent Johnny a few of these. Then I got white ones that I made. And I tell you what, they're just as stout and as strong as these other ones. And then I made black ones. Made these today. I think I made 12 of the black. And here's the best part. I can make 12 of these at a time in any color or any color combination. If it's just one solid color, I can make 12 of them in, I think it's like 9 minutes. And all 12 of them together, because it'll tell you per the filament used how much it cost. And all 12 of them together only cost like 80 cents. So I should put that in there. So I got I've been making, I got 2 sets of my 1, 2, 3 blocks, and they're always floating around, and I found that and made a 1, 2, 3 case for the 1, 2, 3 blocks. And for those of you who don't know what 1, 2, 3 blocks is, it's 1 inch, 2 inches, 3 inches. From my machining days, but I use them a lot doing anything. Then of course the the meter stands, voltage meter stands, the Floyd Rose routing templates. Where'd that one go? Just had it. Oh, made these inline for fender standard. Same way with that one. If you want to do the holes, and then string height gauge. Obviously, I didn't make that, but made the gauge itself down here. What the heck was on? Oh, no. Where did I just had it? How did I do that? Well, here's the bigger one for like a full-size hollow body, but this is turn it that way, and it starts expanding that. And if you have a hollow body acoustic where the back of the bridge is coming up and the front of the wood is sucked down in, you put this in it and just start unscrewing it till you get it level where you want it, and it stays right there. Oh, here's the other one. The little one. It's the white one's a little big. Yeah, I can make them any size. And I put grip tape on them, so they hit, and you can't move them, but you're supposed to glue them, I guess. But it's designed so you turn the thing one way and it expands both sides, or pull them both in together. This is all 3D printed. This cost me like $1.10 maybe to make, as opposed to buying one for 50 or 60. That, again, my modular. I'm tired of buying the acrylic Floyd Rose route templates. So I made this one. So you got your center markers right there. Let me move this for a minute. Let me hang this back up. After I put them all together with any type of floating tremolo, I let them hang for a couple days to kind of just settle. I sent Laz's brother's guitar back today, and the only thing I'm worried about, it being, in the teens here, then out there 60s, I'm thinking, ooh, I hope it's not too far out of whack. All right, so now this would go on the guitar body, your center line here and here, so you got it down, and you blue tape the back side of this and the guitar and glue this to the tape on the guitar. Then this is the first route, so you just listen, pop it in. There you go. That's the very first route. Done with that. Take it out. And here's the difference. And you pop in this one to get the whole outside dimension, and then you throw that in, and there's your hole spacing. I got a piece that goes in there to compensate for that, but that's it. So the whole Floyd Rose thing is going to be a lot easier now. Yes, Steve, that's what it is. So yeah, just pops right in. You'll hear it click. Oh, you'll hear it click right there. Then of course, after you get it routed out, you just grab it from the bottom and pull it out. That's a lot. Where's the other ones? Yeah, that made me mad because I just bought that acrylic one, and I don't know why it happened, but when I took it off Laz's brother's guitar, as I pulled it off the guitar, the corner broke on it. Not on the guitar, on the acrylic template. And I was like, are you kidding me? Is it over here? Yeah. Right there. There and there. It was on the guitar, and it was all there. And when I pulled it off, because I had tape on it and it glued, those parts just fell off. I was like, screw this. This is like the third one I went through. But I mean, it's been in years. But this one's only this second time I use it. That's it. And they're kind of thin. So I was like, screw that. I can print one. Then prior to the acrylic, I use these. They're like MDF board. So I still like this one though because of the holes. So I like put this in there and do the holes this way first, or I can do them with this one. But yeah, I'm telling you, that printer is unbelievable. I know something. Wait, I gotta get it. I got something else I made. Now Johnny's always talking about his PAF pickups, but he doesn't have a pick guard for them. So you only have a pick guard for humbucker. Did it in pink. So you mount your other pickup in here, screws to the bottom right there, and then drop that in and mount it into your humbucker slot. So you got the smaller pickup in the humbucker slot. I can make him any color. But everything I've been making for him now, I've been making it in pink. So he's either going to love it or I'm going to get him to hate pink by the time all this is done. So, yeah, there's nothing you can't. I'm shocked. And it's just so weird to watch that because it goes from nothing on the template, and then however long, if you change colors during the print, it takes longer because it's got to go clear the additional color, then put the other color in it, then run it, then go back, clear it, and put the other color, especially if it's in different layers. One color is just a quicker print, but I can do it. I mean, I could do it any colors you wanted. I could take you'll see. I mailed a box to him and to Rich today, and his box won't be there till Thursday or Friday. Johnny's, Rich's I think said Saturday, which doesn't make sense because they're only less than an hour away from each other. But the one I sent him today has a lot of pink in it. It's got a pink Telecaster pick guard, a silver one, then the pink nuts, the purple nuts, and these clips right here that hold the microphone cable to the thing. There's pink ones, blue ones, white ones, and I think a couple purple. Made all this stuff. So I got all that in there. That went today. His other box was delivered today, and I shipped one today. But he was out of town, so he's not going to get the other box till tomorrow. And I don't even remember what's in it now, to be honest with you. I've been shipping so much stuff, I don't know what's in what. Rich, I made this stand for a for a meter, multimeter. You see? So I made this stand for that. Why is that? but Rich wanted one in look like a marble stone, so that's what I sent him today. I am going to start making these. Well, obviously I'll buy this, but I'll put these ends on it, and you can be able to check your ohms, your output on your pickups and your guitar just by plugging it in, flipping the switch. And not only test that, but it'll also let you know if you got a bad pickup or a bad switch, because it'll show you it won't register anything. So it's kind of like a diagnostic tool and an information tool. And I'm going to be selling these for 20 bucks. And that's covers, it's like $18.50 for the parts, and then $1.50 to ship it. So I'm going to sell these, right now I'm looking at 20 bucks. And these will be brand new, still in the package, except I have to take the leads out and solder them to, I got to buy the jack and put a jack on it. And for an extra few dollars, if you want a stand, I'll make you a stand like that, or you can have one like this that will go in a pegboard, and then still do that, and it's on a pegboard. So if you guys want stands, if you buy these, you want a stand for a few dollars more, I'll make the stand. But yeah, this is nice, man. You just plug it in your jack, flip it on, and then turn your volume up and down, and flip your switches. You'll see exactly what it's actually, how much it's putting out. Yeah, so it literally cost me, without making this, just to do this, $18.50. And that includes the meter with the new leads, the jack here, and the shrink wrap. Now the first ones I did, I put the shrink wrap clear up to here, and what it ended up doing is breaking that, because it was so tight up to here, it was breaking those. So I backed it off, and so now you can just plug it in. And this one, with that back slide, slides right under the handle here on my soldering station. Locks it right in place like it's glued there. So, yeah, like I said, there's not too much that I can't make. The only thing that limits me is the table my printer's working with is about that size right here. So I can go taller, but if I have to go longer, then I'm going to have to divide it up. And again, this was my first printer. Obviously, they make them with the tables bigger than this whole top here. So eventually, I'll get the bigger one, because I can do a Telecaster pick guard. Fits perfect. Stratocaster won't fit. The only way the Strat will work is if I do it in like two pieces, then it'll be like a jigsaw puzzle, and I don't want to do that either. Hey Lewis, what's happening? Believe me, Billy, I understand. I really understand. So yeah, there's headphone. Oh, I don't have them on. There's a bunch of headphone holders that you can make on that thing. I found one. It's a skull. And with the multicolor printer that I have, I can have blood coming out off the teeth and out of the nose on it. And I'm going to make one of those to hold my headphones. So that'd be pretty cool. Oh, I made... Yeah, these. Check this out. As you guys know, I always have a water bottle here. And like this one. Okay. And I always had them hanging here on the edge of the bench, on the handle, and they'd fall, or I'd have them taking up shelf space. Voila. Check it out. bolt that right to the wall. Bam, there you go. I made 4 white ones, and they just literally they drop. The drops right through, hangs right in place. I got 2 of them mounted right here, 1 for each ball. There's just so much stuff that you can make. And speaking of that, extra wide. Medium and narrow. Tuner 10 millimeter. Again, now I did find they have a carbon fiber filament. Obviously, it's quite expensive. So when I am able to afford that, I'll get a couple spools and this stuff. This I'm not worried about. But the stuff that has a hex head in it, I'll at least make half of it in the carbon fiber. But then again, it might have to be all because the 2 filaments may not mix. So I don't know. I don't have one to try it. But that would strengthen up all these. If you're just snugging up your tuner screws, it works fine. They shouldn't be cranked on anyhow, but a lot of people do. But if they're not, if they're just loose, you want to snug them up, this works perfect. You will not strip that out. But with carbon fiber, you won't strip it out either. And then there is the knob puller with the little felt in the bottom to help a little bit. I got screws for them. String puller. Here is a 11, 13, and a 12 and 14. Same deal. You know, if I get the carbon fiber, I'll make these out of carbon fiber. But for right now, these will work. If you got an input jack that's loose, these work fine for snugging them up. Here's the other string puller. Here is a trem blocker. Right there. And it's pretty stout. Here's a string winder. Give you 2 of them. I'll make these out of carbon fiber also. And then here's under the neck. You put 3 strings around it, so this is like the neck upside down. This will be on the bottom of the neck. You put strings in there and strings in there. You know how to take strings off the guitar. Felt on the bottom, not to hurt the neck. And oh, I didn't make one in yellow. I have the white one. It's a gauged step gauge to lock the tremolo in place if you're going to work on the strings or something like that, if you don't want to use this. So use a white one. So this kit I'm giving away today. Can I make a what? A count pin puller too. So I'm going to give away this kit today. We're going to figure out a way to do it. If I have to put your names in a hat and draw them, which I probably have to do, because I'm not paying for the StreamYard. I'm just using the free one, and it doesn't have the giveaway tool. Yeah, Lewis, I can. I thought you meant to count pin numbers. Yeah, I can make that. I've been using these 2. Here's the ones I bought. I think I paid $19 for that one and $12 or $13 for this one. I made one silver, one in blue. Like you can tell, I've been using them. They work fine. If you work on a floating transmission, if you work on a floating trem, you have to have a trem blocker, or at minimum one of those. Yeah, I can. I haven't made one, Lewis, but I can. Yeah, I'll look for that. Steve, I've only used StreamYard. What? This is the fourth show, or whatever you want to call this, the chat. So I'm still extremely, because all these years on Johnny and Laz's show, I've never once ever ran the StreamYard. I've always just been the guest, and you don't do anything as the guest. So I'm gonna set these right here. This is a giveaway. This entire set. It's a guitar maintenance set. Basically, string change, fret, clean and polish. And you got anything that's kind of loose. So there you go. Yeah, I remember that now. Wheel of Names or something like that. So for right now, on a month that has 4 Mondays, I'll give one away. If the month has 5 Mondays, there'll be 2 giveaways for now. Then once everything gets settled down and everything gets going good here, like I said, I have my mother's here with us till the holidays, and again Beth, her whole department and everything being late. The boss 20-some years later, no warning or nothing, man. Right at lunchtime, they come back for lunch and they were told they were going to be in a meeting. So once all this gets settled, then I could probably do one every week. But for now, it's going to be one a month. Unless there's 5 Mondays in the month, then there'll be 2 different giveaways. So it's just a like a maintenance kit. I mean, you've seen the frets, what I've done with these things. Alex, you're here. Alex will tell you. Alex's frets were actually kind of a greenish. And I always send one with the sandpaper in it. It's usually 1,500 or 1,200. You can polish your frets with that. Dane goes over it with 1,000 on his show. But I end up going clear up to 10,000. That's why they look like a freaking mirror. But I leave one in here. I put one in so you see how it goes in, how it attaches. Then you got but here, you got an extra wide one. The wide one is probably 90% of them. Medium, and then narrow. And you use it, and when you get a spot that's worn, just crank the handle a little bit to the next clean spot. Well, like this. This is 8,000 grit. This was on CC's last night. So you got that part. These are all used, and just crank it over to the next spot. And use it, and then crank it again. Cool. Yeah, you can do if you want to. Yeah, if you win at James, you want to give it to somebody, you can. So, yeah, but this is what we'll do for this. And knob puller. Johnny's using his all the time, and you just squeeze a little bit to get that out. And it's got grooves and the little lip right here, so you squeeze it, get it in, and you're there. So you put that up, slide it under the knob, shove the ring down, and just pull. Just pull up. And I put the felt in there a little bit, so a pad. So you kind of just like hold that down and pull the knob out. And again, I'm new to 3D printing, so I did find out, and I mean, this stuff's working. this filament, but I get the carbon fiber, I'm not going to be worried. Matter of fact, I'm even thinking of doing these in carbon fiber because, like I showed you, on the ones that I actually paid good money for, plus the next one, I haven't made any since I said this last time. Here's the original ones. String stretcher. So you can see these ones are obviously a little smaller. So I'm going to make them bigger to match this size. But, so if you look here, and you know, people, oh, it happened there. So it happened on these ones too. There's the groove that the string slides in. So you got your string over top of this one and under that one. So it's like this. And you just kind of pull up, stretch the string a little bit. Well, when you do the unwound strings, the E, B, and G, if you go real fast, what will happen, say if you look there, you see the notch there and it ends right there. Well, on this one, I can actually cut into it from pulling on it, you know, tilting it too hard and running it too fast. So it'll cut even into this, and it'll do it to these too. So that's why I send you two. So, because think about it, you got it on your low E, your A, and your D. That's the wound strings, and you're creating friction. Friction creates heat. So you get this warmed up, then go to smooth strings that would be like a knife cutting through it. So what I do now, I use these now, but with these, is I do like the one string with this one, set it aside, do the next string, and then just switch them back and forth. But I really don't do very hard at all on the unwound strings. I mean, I still stretch them, but not much. But I get that carbon fiber, because these are just a plastic too. And you see that web, those are printed. So that has the web too. I just got a cover over it where these ones aren't. I'm thinking carbon fiber will help. So, but just use one string at a time with one of them, then go to the next one and switch back and forth. So this is today's giveaway, the whole kit. And you have one for each kind of fret you would have. And actually, I never even thought about that. I was just making the wide ones. And it was actually Mr. Mick. He's like, well, you know, I got different guitars with different size frets. I was like, okay, well, we'll make all four of them then. Let me show you. I'll show you on CC's guitar. Again, hold on. All right, when you use these, it goes under. So you're putting the string under the front, and you're pushing down on the back, and you just kind of tilt it a little bit and just run it back and forth, stretch the string. What it does is it forces the string into that kind of angle and stretches it. So if you're using it here, you just, did you hear that? It sounds like a saw. No, that's basically what it's doing, sawing in there. So you get that, if you do these three with one, and you get down here and you hit it, and it's just going to start slicing into it like it did on that one, matter of fact. You can see where it goes clear down to the end compared to the other one. So these work the same way. Underneath there, drop it on top. There you go. They work, stretched it out. And then these, again, these are made for these. They shouldn't be so tight that you strip this, but some people do it that way. And then, well, this doesn't have the regular jack, but you can use these for that. And also your potentiometers. Pull the knob off, you can tighten that up. But again, any of this stuff that has the hex head in it, and even these, I will make with carbon fiber, and probably these two. So for those of you who didn't see it, CC's guitar. And I kicked that tube. There you go. So well, there you go. But yeah, and these, you know, I bought this yellow filament thinking, because in the photo of the filament it looked like the color yellow of my Hummer, which is pretty more like this. So you can see the difference. Oh, wait a minute. I knew I was going to do that. And then, not only is it not orangish yellow, it's kind of transparent. So, whatever. But it all works. So that's that. I only have the one spool yellow, and I'm not going to buy this one again. So you get 2 winders for a drill, or Johnny had it. Johnny had his on this, the hammer drill or hammerhead. There you go. That's full speed, so it's not going to rip it. And this, I think I paid 13 or 14. They're now 16. Rich got his for 10, which I still don't know how he did that. He said it was a special, and I looked right then and there, and it must have been out west. It wasn't over here for $10, brand new. Got wax on that even. But yeah, fits in there perfect. There's your tuner. I've had this since March. And the day I got it, I charged it, which it had a charge. I don't know how much, but I charged it the whole way. The day I got it in March, and I just charged it the other day, the very next time. So it's lasted, what, 7 months on one charge. Johnny said he's never charged his unless he charged it when he first got it, and he's still using that one. So, and he's using all this stuff. But again, you know, I'm still new to this, so as far as just printing stuff, but give me time. I get it. I mean, you can see, you kind of like transparent. You see through that, and it's no different than this one. So I like the purple myself. So we will, I'll just, that decal, that one, and that one. I got the Zims in there. So, yeah, Alex's frets turned out really nice, and they were like this color. the fret polisher, this, no, not yet, Billy. I'm going to. And I have no problem doing it. But what it's going to take, it takes a second to load it. And I know some people may get frustrated. So it clicks. So you got to feed the paper through that, and then that'll press on, and it's there. And I'm doing it pretty quick now, except when I try it on camera to show everybody. And I'm just worried that some people is going to say, it's not worth the hassle to do that, which actually, ask Mr. Mick. He used his and said his frets never looked as good, ever, even when the guitar was new. So, this is just a maintenance kit to keep the strings and fretboard and stuff nice and everything tight. Well, it depends on how much sandpaper you roll up and put in there too, Peggy. Now, the sandpaper, you have to cut it to fit. So the next ones I make are going to be longer because I buy these things this width already pre-cut like that, and look how much wider. So I have to cut every sheet. So the next ones are going to be wide. They'll be a little like, because you have to, on that in there, you can't have any sandpaper sticking up in there, or will not let that center bar right there go in to seat it in place. So technically, I think I have an extra bar here. Yeah, right here. Right. Here's a silver one. So technically, the paper can't be past that slot right there. It needs to be right there. If you get it past there, the cap will not stay in place. So I'm going to make this, the next ones are going to be longer enough to where that's the right size. You don't have to cut anything. And I get this paper off of Amazon. Pack of 51 sheets from 400 to 10,000. 51 sheets for like $13. It's not bad. And then it just, wrong way, sorry. Presses in. And that center strip, it's actually waved, so it pinches against the paper so it doesn't just fly out. But you can't be, it's got to be in between that and that bottom slot right there. So I have to cut every sheet I put on here, so the next ones I'm going to make, so they'll fit here and here, and you just buy this and just use it. So fretboard, or the polisher is going to be about another inch longer, which doesn't matter because it's already wider than the fretboard anyhow. So I saw Mr. Mick, yeah, there you go. That, Mick, and you don't get polishing compound and everything else all over the place. And you don't have to tape up anything anymore. And here's silver. There's a couple black. I'm going to see if I can print one of these. But this has a metal insert in it. So if you're drilling through and you hit the side, you're not hollowing it out any. But this thing, if you don't have a drill press, that right there is the next best thing because it keeps everything straight. The bits just fit inside. And this was only like $8. And it doesn't slide. So you got it down there, you got it down, push on it, and there you go. It's got these like rubber feet things on the bottom. I mean, you really got to push it to move it. So, no, and this too, a little blocker. No, no. That wouldn't work. I could see that snapping off and either flying and hit you in the face or getting the spring to hit you in the face, one of the two. But there's and pegboard stuff. I mean, there's so much. I couldn't believe everything that's already out there for 3D printers. Yeah, you're right, Mr. Mick. Yeah, you don't have to break out the individual fret or board protector or this anymore. And you don't have the polish all over you, all over your shirt and all over the bench and tools. You don't need any of this anymore. You don't even have to tape the fretboard up. The only thing you have to do is, like, if you have one that has a narrow fretboard or narrow fret, don't come over with the bigger one, because what will happen is it won't really touch the fret. It's going to groove into the fretboard on each side. I mean, that basically pretty much fits in there. Well, so that's why I'm sending all four. You make sure you get the right size and you're good to go. So you got narrow, medium, wide, and extra wide. Oh, the skull ones. I can make all those too. Those are all on there for free. I found some that are made shapes of guitars. It's like you got the guitar not laying flat but standing up on its edge, and you can put the picks in it that way. So, yeah. So this is going to be tonight's giveaway. That goes down here. And then again, you know, as I go, the kits will get better material and stronger. And then again, as far as the multimeters, like I said, right around the $20 mark. It's going to cost me $18.50 just to build it. That's the parts. So, oh, and I did find my glass slide for this, and I do need to tear into this again, because that is so SpongeBob. So the way this is set up, even when I initially took it apart, I was like, it doesn't have stuff that should have. But as far as I know, it's never been torn into. So, I mean, I got to get, let me take this back off. Oh, that's right. It's too big for that even. Oh, wait. It would work with this. That's the Pool Johnny trick here. See how handy that come in? An actual winder's too big for this, but let's see. There you go, look at that. Stay in there. Of course, you usually don't do them upside down either. So, there you go. You saw it in use. Now this one, the broken one, sadly I have to use this. I made the nut for this. Right there. So let me get all these out of here. So, yeah, if you look in a regular guitar, you have capacitor, ground, pots hooked together, everything like that. And when I took this apart, it had none of that. Which doesn't make any sense. Because with my mom here, I even asked her the other day if Dad ever got into this, which that doesn't make sense either because he knew what he was doing. So this, one aluminum, one magnet, that's your pickup built into this. Oh, you only see half of it? I'm sorry. So, pull this back off. Now look at this. That is missing so much stuff. And those are original 1957-58 pots. Those two pieces of wood stay there. That one, I still have that piece there. But dang it. You got the hot wire from the pickup going to that. Then you got this capacitor from here to here. No ground to the bridge. No, I don't understand why this is like this. This doesn't make sense, but you can look and see it's never been messed with. Brent, what's happening, brother? So this is kind of like way out there. And this is from 1957-58. But there's never been any solder on top of them. I mean, so as far as I know, this is original, but it does not work. I don't get any. I had it plugged into the amp. I had it plugged into the Helix, plugged into here. I'm not getting anything anywhere. Okay, right here I'm at 0.25. And then nothing. 0.25, and as soon as I get right to, okay. All right, so 0.25, 30, 72, then it stops. So it's like I only got like a 1/4 inch where I'm getting anything from it. But even on the amp, that 1/4 inch didn't do anything. I think I might have just found the problem. Well, let's fix this real quick. Where these wires are solid, when I finagled this around the other day, look, that might be the issue. Let's find out. But I still don't understand how that works. I've never seen anything like that before. mean, if you just look at that, it's missing ground wires. It's, you know, it's like, what the hell? But we'll figure it out. Sorry. For some reason, StreamYard keeps muting the mic every so often. Uh, what I was saying is that was only hanging on by a thread. So I got it set now. So down here, all the way off, I have 0.02, which should be all zero. Then, so I'm still right there, 002. Now watch how much this moves. I mean, I can turn it all the way, but okay, that's 0.8.44. Then we go to 4.46 right there. 1240. Say 1240. Okay, right there is 1966. And then right past that mark right there, it goes back to zero. So I have literally a quarter, basically from there, that's it. Anything past this is dead. So that's telling me the pot's bad. But again, you only got the jack wired into it. The pickup here, which is original wiring, and this capacitor is just over to this. There's no grounds anywhere to. I don't get this. The pickup is literally made into the plate. Here's the tangs bent over for the cover, and then the screws from the pickup go through the plate also. So I don't get this. There should be a ground, at least a ground, but there never was anything. Now what would suck. All right, hold on. All right, so did I put a pure tone in here? I think I did, didn't I? Or did I? I don't know. All right. Okay, so that's that. That's still wired. This, I never touched these. That's the factory. This, I just had to replace these cables because they were busted off and they were rotted, basically. But there's never been any solder on the pots at all. It must be. And with the pickup cover and the screws going in through the plate, that's got to be acting as one. So either that pot's bad or the pickup's bad. I mean, the wiring's still solid. But that's it. For the tone pot, it's just that capacitor. That's it. And this is what did we figure out? 58? 1958, this guitar is. And like I said, I don't ever remember my dad ever opening this up. And the last time I know that it was played and sounded was with me in school in 1977. And it sat in the closet for years after that, and nobody messed with it. So I don't know. Yeah, you're right, Steve. Let's see. I got multimeters all over the place. This was my dad's box, and he was also an electrician for Navistar. So there were like 4 multimeters in here already. So we got beeping. I don't know if you can hear that. So it's got to be either the pot, which again, because I only turned 1/4 of an inch and it works. After that, it dies. And if you remember, that's the one that locked up on us the other day. Yeah, explain that, Steve. The pots were, I remember them in 77, scratchy. So I took cleaner and cleaned them, and they were all both turning free as can be. Then all of a sudden, this one literally froze in place. Okay. Yeah, well, let's see. I didn't do the screwdriver. Or the pickup. Yep. It's everywhere. I just don't understand this. Gotta be the pot bad, but I don't know. (220-1). This one's 220-2. There's no name on them. And they're not, I don't know. Well, here's what's. There's only one wire coming out of the pickup. It's right here. It's your hot. So I mean, there's no ground wire from the pickup unless it's got to be grounded through here. So nope. We're good. So it's got to be the pot. The pot's got to be bad then, right? I just wasn't expecting this design when I popped this cover off. All right, I'll have to look up these pots because I don't want to put. There's part numbers on them. Wish I knew what they were. 304415. What's that one? 3043. So you would think they'd be the same pots. This is a 220-1. This is 220-2, and they also have two different part numbers. All right, I'll do some checking on the pots. I'm going to say they're probably 250s. I doubt if they're 500s. I don't know if they had 500s back in '58. Probably not. So I'll have to go up the store and get a 250. Then maybe that's the issue. So we might be getting that working. Then Peggy, you get to hear it. Unfortunately, I took 1 year of lessons for this thing 48 years ago. And also happens to be the last time I played it. At least through an amp that you heard it. And actually it was through Dad's little Gibson amp. I never played this through any of the stacks or anything, which would be kind of interesting. But I have an idea for a song that I could use this on, with distortion. If I get it to work right. So let me just stick this stuff in here so I don't lose it. Yeah, I mean, well, the part is, this is aluminum, so there's something with the pickup here because it's open on the ends. This one's a magnet. This one's just aluminum. So I'd have to have the whole thing. I'll just go tomorrow and get a 250 pot and put in it. I'm not going to really screw these in that much, but just enough so they don't fall. Well, this I have to. I'm sorry. That I have to, or the ends will fall off of the pickups. This is just a strange design. That ain't going to go where. All right. Well, technically, though, well, okay, I see what you're saying about the pot itself. All right. For the sake of it's grounded anywhere on the metal. So we don't have anything from here to here. So there, nothing, 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 nothing. This was made, it's a Loney, Loney, made in Canton, Ohio. So if I go from the hot to anywhere else, there's nothing. Nothing on the pot. Right, there we go. Okay. So that was full, okay. All right, now wait a minute. Now full bores give me... What gets me is this pot is the one that froze. But when you crank it all the way up, I'm getting something through here that way, but nothing out there. Jack connections was just done last week. It's all done. Everything's nice and tight. It's all good. Throw that away for I mean, because seriously, last week I sprayed this pot out, and this one just continually turned free. Everything was fine with it, worked perfect. Everything went good. Sprayed this one, it was turning like free could be. Then all of a sudden it got real sticky, and then it stopped completely. They were here watching me. And the only way I got it to move, believe it or not, is I had to spray a little bit of WD-40 in there to break it free. Well, in 58, Lewis, or Steve, wouldn't have been carbon, it'd have been just regular copper, right? They weren't using carbon back. I don't know if they were. I don't think they were. It'd have to be just copper lined. Well, you know what? Let's find out. The only way we're going to find out is to take it apart. Hey, wait, let's try one of these. Well, this probably isn't metric, though. By God, there we go. I can take the whole. Let me see if I can get the. Man, it's got more clamps on it than the new ones do. Hold on, I want to get something else to. Put another slice in my fingers. Well, we're gonna look. We're gonna see what we got here. I just don't think they had carbon in these back then. I mean, I may be completely off. I wasn't around in 58, so I don't know. I'm a child of the 60s. Although I wish I would have been around for World War II. I'd have loved to have been in that. Of course, according to this psychic one time, I was. Because I have a, what was weird is B-17 Flying Fortress is my absolute favorite plane, period. And the very first time I saw one in person, I knew all the specs from it. And it was weird because I was looking at it and I was like, man, I swear to God, I was in one. And a couple years later, I went somewhere and it was before I was even dating my wife. It was a girl I was dating at the time. We went somewhere and there was some kind of psychiatrist psychologist, whatever. And then, and also no, that's carbon. That is carbon. So it's touching all the way around. So why in the hell would that get stuck even? Looks kind of wore. Well, anyhow, I went with my girlfriend there, and at the time, and never said anything to her about the B-17 or nothing. And then the psychiatrist was there also. So I supposedly it wasn't a full hypnotism thing, but apparently I had a name. And I was on a B-17 flight crew and shot down over Hamburg, Germany in 1944. According, they said that's what I was telling them anyhow. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's got war spots on it, but it's not war all the way through. And it's got connection the whole way, so why it's only working in certain spots, I don't know. Well, I should draw it out or take a photo of it. The pot, I mean, it's... What the hell is that? Wait a minute, there was dust in there. A curled up lint roll. Wonder if that was in there and touching stuff. You know what? Well, I got it apart. This is what I did last, well, not with it apart like this, but this is what I did last week. And then when I started turning it, it froze. Okay, let's do this. Where'd that go? Let's see if we get any different, constant readout now. Nope, it's still doing it. Only that little 1/4 inch area. So it's right there. It's working. And then right there it stops. So it's not even about a 1/4 inch. That's it. But it's there's no Yep. I guess I'll just put a new pot in it. I'll go get a 250 one tomorrow. I just did, Lewis. I'll do it again. get a reading in that first 1/4 inch. Right there. From here to here. That's it. Once I go past that, right there, it goes away. It's all, that rest, that's nothing. But what's weird is this isn't worn any more here than it is on that side. That's down enough. That's yep. I go from there to there. So I literally have just that much space. Anything past that, it just stops. But what doesn't make sense is the carbon is not broke, it's not wore anymore, and it's got full contact all the way around. So I don't know why it just stops right there. Yep, right. I mean, nothing. Spray that one again too. Yep, I'll just go get a 250 pot and put in it tomorrow. I mean, I could understand it if something obvious was right here changing, but it's identical all the way around. It's just like, and there's no slice in the carbon, so it's not like it's cut off. It's the same everywhere, yet it's only working a 1/4 of the way. Yeah, dead there, dead there, dead there, there. Now, there. Just literally right there. That's it. That's all I have out of that whole thing. All this is nothing. Oh well. I'll just get a new. I don't have any 250s. I'll just get a new one tomorrow. I got to run up to the store anyhow, so I'll just grab one when I'm up there. Actually, I should just grab 2 of them and not put it in this yet, but have it just in case. So, get that all figured out. See, look at this. Put everything right back. What's that old saying? Everything's got a place, and there's a place for everything. Alex, you still here? Put this stuff in here. To be continued, correct. Get that out of the way. Shut that off. Put this back. Yeah, so Johnny's got a box. he was out of town and the post office is closed when he gets back through, so he can't get it till tomorrow morning. But I guess he can open it on tomorrow night's show. And again, he wants to keep the Tuesday and Thursday shows down to an hour. And then, of course, Wednesday and Saturday would be the long ones. And then, I don't know, I think Friday he wants to do an hour or 2 hours tops. Oh, okay. Laz is home then? Did Brent try the Kelly yet? Yeah, Laz was supposed to get his box for me today too, and then it said there was a delay. Let me see if it got dropped off at his house or apartment. So it's been in San Pablo for 3 days. It was supposed to be delivered today by 4:30, and it says your package is running late, but it's still on the way. So that was Laz was supposed to have that today. His brother's guitar will be there either Friday, Saturday, or Monday. Oh, okay. I just wondered. Kind of anxious to have him play it. Because that actually turned out really good. Well, Peggy, that's. Oh, I know what Johnny's getting. What he should have tomorrow, the Kramer body. That was UPS to his post office box. I was trying to think, what the hell did I send him? So it's the Kramer body, and I threw a couple other things in there, but I couldn't tell you what they are now. I don't remember. But I think I'm hoping he likes that uh, flash, hollow flash on that guitar. I wanted to route that out for a Floyd so bad. Because that guitar screams Floyd Rose now. All right. So tomorrow I'll get a new pot for that. Get 2 new pots. I won't put the one in this one. If this one's still working, I won't mess with it. Dang it, stay closed. That's another thing. I don't want to put them in there like that. I like to keep them just closed just enough. Yeah, I wanted to put a Floyd on that, but this one goes in here. Oh, this goes here. See, I'm now learning where I put everything. So. Well, I'm sure it still is, Lewis, but that wouldn't affect only part of this. It would affect all of it. See, it's almost like something would have to have been broken here once I pass that point, but from what I can see, there's nothing broke. But I'm putting a new one anyhow, so let's do this. I may not be able to do that. Because there's a trick you can do. You get the pot tore apart like this. I did it on the one in that Erie Desk swirl. Right here down the middle, I cut a groove in it and broke the carbon. It broke the connection. And I have one capacitor on this side and one on this side. So, and I had forgotten I did that to that guitar, and I plugged it in the other day, and I'm like, why am I not hearing? So when you put it in the middle, there's no tone control. So you go halfway is one capacitor, and the other half is the other capacitor, which does give you two different sounds. But if you leave it in the middle, it's like you got your tone off. And I was like, why does this sound like this? And then I realized what I did. And all you do is get it down to this much, then just take a razor blade and cut a line in it, break it in half, or break the connection, and do one on one side, one on the other, and there you go. But that's what's, I mean, from how this is acting, it should be broke on that connection somewhere, and it's not. At least that I can tell, unless it's a hairline. So, let's get a new one. I have other capacitors here. I don't know what size. I can't read this one. '05 200 volt DC or VDC industrial capacitor company, part number 201. It's from 1957 or 58, so. I can't read what that part says. It's like covered with some kind of finish. I don't know if it's wax. No, it ain't wax. I'd like to have this working. I have an idea. Like I said, I don't remember crap about how to play this. I remember, straight, and that was. But I have an idea with distortion and deep bottom end for slide work going into a song, which is what I really want to try. I'm surprised there's carbon in there. I just figured that'd be a copper plate down there all the way around. Yep, that's carbon. You know what? Wait a minute, let me rough it up a little bit right here. See if. It doesn't work, so. Okay, before when I had it down all the way, it was 0.02. Now it's 0.00. Nope, there it is. It ended right there. We got up to 1992. Then once I go right past that, it goes all back to zeros. So there's something in the connection right there that's bad. And I don't know what the hell it is. Oh, now we're... All right, there we go. Nope. Here, watch. You can watch this. Oh, crap. I think you got it. Can you see that? Can you guys read that? Man, there's that long a delay. Okay, now watch. We're all the way off. And right there. Three-quarters of it is nothing. Night, Burnt. So, I'll just put a new pot on tomorrow. And that'll be that. Now, let me figure out the wheel of names, and we'll give away that guitar maintenance kit. And as I go along, the kits are going to get better constructed and more stuff with them. So, and eventually they'll be to the point where you can say, you know, I'll say, you want a kit, what color do you want? And I'll give you the options and you tell me. But right now, I'm going with what I got. So let me switch cameras and switch mics, and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, can you hear me? You should be able to. I also asked for another cam for here. And then that one I'd leave over there where it is, but I'd also put one over here on the other side. Because like I said, if I put that new bench pad on there, that's only going to be for work that, you know, I don't have to solder and no paint stuff where it would ruin it. That would be on this side, so I'll have a camera like that over here too. Let's see. Let me come over here. No, I can just do this. Okay, can you hear me now? StreamYard. See, the free StreamYard, I think they do stuff like this to make you get mad, and then you want to buy their thing because it muted me. It muted me over there and muted me here. Okay, so I got to figure out how to add this. Okay, so far I have MPM, James, Lewis, Billy, Steve, Martian. I know Greasy was in here. Is he still here? Hold on. I am not as good at this as Johnny is. I Okay, for some reason the mouse quit working for the other computer. There we go. There it is. Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm already up. So we got Lewis, James, Martian, Steve, Greasy, Billy, MPN. Yeah, put Peggy in and Alex. Peggy, Alex. And Alex is watching in the car with Brent, so I should put Brent in too, right? Okay. Is that it? We have MPN, James, Lewis, Billy, Steve, Martian, Greasy, Peggy, Alex, and Brent. Is that it, everybody, or is there more? All right. Now let me see if I can add this. Wrong mouse. See if I can add this to. Oops. Okay. Can you hear me again now? Okay. Forgive me. This is the very first time I've ever done this. All right. On this screen, it's showing it. Let me Can you see the wheel of names? Okay. All right. I'll click the spin, and whoever wins it. Well, I'm clicking it. I'm clicking it, and nothing's working. Click the spin. Click. Control Enter. Keep shutting my mic off. Control and Enter. Nothing. Oh my God. Control Enter. Nothing. Keeps muting my mic. All right. Control Enter. Control and Enter. Control plus Enter. Control. Enter. Braggy. Oh, sorry, Peggy. I did that. I've clicked on that. I've clicked. You know what? Wait, let me do it over here. There we go. I had to click on it on its actual screen. Martian. You won. I couldn't click on it on the shared screen. I had to actually go over to it. So now I know that. There we go. Martian Murray, you won. Okay, my address. There you go, Martian. Email me your shipping address and I will get those out to you. Or if you want to give them to somebody or spin again, just let me know. Martian, you still here? No, you got to be here. That's not my only request. You got to be here. No, I don't. Okay. Well, here's what we'll do. We'll go back to here. Close. We'll take him out of this. I got to do this again. Oh my God, it keeps muting me on its own. Okay, Alex, I guess you're not here. Let's say if he's not here, that means Brent's not here either. Okay, well, we'll do this. My first giveaway, and I can't give it away. Well, we'll go down to Greasy. Are you still here? His stupid StreamYard keeps muting me for some reason. Let's just do this. Now it says 6 here. Okay. Is Greasy, are you still here? Because if you're not here, I'll take his name off. I don't think he's here. All right. Okay, well, we're going to end up to. All right, here we go again. Oh, Greasy, you are here. Okay. All right, let me add you back in here then. All right, here we go. Now, again, if you win this kit, you can either have me send it to you, you can say spin it again, or you can say give it to whoever's in that wheel. All right, ready? Here we go. It might mute me again as soon as I click this. We'll find out. Steve. My brother. I got you, Greasy. Here. I can't give this away. Steve, are you here? 30 seconds. Count them off, Peggy. Okay, now let's close this. Yeah, I think he's gone. MPN, are you still here? MPN should probably still be here unless there's a Philadelphia Flyers hockey game on. I can just figure out who is all still here. I'll just eliminate or just have those names in it. MPN. I don't think he's here. All right. Well, here we go. So Greasy's here, Peggy's here, Billy's here, Lewis, and James. All right. Here we go. Lewis, I know you're here. Congratulations, Lewis. my email I did in the chat. Just there. It's rgunner0650. It's rgunners. I probably need to save this page. Save. All right. Let me put this in here again for you. I promise I will get better at this. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Lewis. So, yeah, just email me where you want me to send it, and I will do that for you. Congratulations, Lewis, and everybody. Thank you for hanging out. And, well, yeah, you almost did, Billy. I don't know how it looked on for you guys. For me, it was spinning real fast. I will get this figured out completely, and it'll be working. And Peggy's handling the moderator job, and I'll probably add one more just in case I do it and Peggy can't be here. So we'll take care of that. I'll get that to Lewis, get the pots. So I'll have something to work on next week. See, well, I got Wednesday to work on something, Friday and Saturday to work on something, and Monday. I have 5 guitars here that need fixed, but I don't have parts for them. I mean, I kind of do with the donated parts, but I don't want to use those on my personal guitars. Those are for the giveaway stuff. And I have used some in the past, but what I did is replaced it so that it was still there. So, that's pretty much it for tonight. And I will see you guys tomorrow on Johnny's show, where you'll get to see him unbox the Kramer, the Hollow Flash, and put it together. So everybody, thank you so much. Peggy, thank you for being a moderator. And we will pick someone else who's interested in doing it. So we're good to go. So everybody, good night. Thank you. Billy, if you're working, stay safe. Keep that vest on. Watch where you're going, what you're doing. Lewis, congratulations. James, Greasy, everybody, thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, that didn't work.